that's why I didn't guess connect this the way you were saying it, because if I do that, then I set an expectation that something's going to happen. When it doesn't, I do have that disappointment.
Right.
The reality is that 99% of the time we walk around the dark and talk to ourselves.
Yep.
I say this all the time. It's like a broken record, but that's the reality. And the 1% of times when something occurs, at least occurs enough that we experience it in the moment, which is rare. That's why it's the 1%. You know, it's a wow moment, and it drives forward the rest of, it motivates, and it just
Right.
makes you want to go further. It could have been at 5 in the morning, and you've been there for 7 hours already, and you're tired, but that energy just brings you back up quickly,
Hmm.
to go further, longer, and more experience. But
West Virginia Penitentiary.
yes, exactly. Yeah, and many others along the way,
Uh-huh.
but that part of it is the wow moment.
Right.
And you can, though, in the reality for most investigators, when you go, and the problem here, and I say problem loosely, but the situation here is that we all go somewhere for one day, one night at a time, and we invest in that place as
Mhm.
well. We have to pay a ticket. If we're going someplace further away, we have to stay over. We're investing in the local economy with food and other things, entertainment while we're there, because you got to eat, all that stuff, and then you go there and you have zero experiences. It feels deflating sometimes, but the reality is nothing's on demand. No one's going to walk out of the wall and introduce themselves. And
Right.
again, I'm a broken record saying that, because I say it in investigations of our public events all the time, like to set the examples of, to set the expectation.
Hmm.
But if it might, it
Hmm.
might happen someday, maybe.
Right.
And therefore, if it does, I'm going to be the first in line to say, wow, that was so cool.
Right.
And have that moment with whatever presents itself. But
Right.
we piece together so many things, and that's part of the process of an investigation and the after event of review.